for everybody, make a way for everybody.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Exposed. And right now, we're live at the Velvet Blender with co-owner of Velvet Blender and Velvet Geaux.
Yeah.
And man, today's about to be a great conversation. And the owner name is Lance. And before we get into this episode, Lance, I want you to give our audience a little bit about you and what you do before we get active.
Well, I'm Lance. So co-owner of the Velvet Blender and Velvet Geaux. What Velvet Geaux is it's an AI platform-based company. We're able to deploy and build sites for different businesses and give them tools that they never really had access to unless they work with the big firms. So,
yeah. Well, that's amazing.
Yeah.
So on this first segment, we normally do something called What's Going On. And right now, since you're into the tech software industry, I want to know what's going on locally and worldwide that we should be aware of here in our city right now.
Well, I would say locally, you have the Meta data centers, you have some big firms that are coming from the West Coast and setting up there and building here in our city. However, you have folks like myself that are dealing with AI and prompting, and you may hear about Claude and Anthropic and all these different companies that are out there. But now working with AI and I would say educating other business owners and integrating their workplace with it is really what's happening now. It's starting on the West Coast and it's slowly, getting everywhere else. But here there isn't a lot of talk about it. But that's what's happening now is you're seeing a lot of different businesses adopt that because they want to make it faster.
Yeah, I mean, all I heard about was Wix, honestly.
Yeah.
I thought Wix was the best thing out. You could just copy, drag, and paste whatever you want, and then, that's kind of it. You have a website.
Yeah.
But just knowing that I heard through the grapevine that Meta is coming here, is kind of integrating somewhere in Louisiana, but I still don't know what that entails. So for the audience who don't know, what does that mean if you get a large company like that to come to your city? What opportunities does that open up for the community?
Well, I think for the community, it's going to open up, well, first they need to build it. So you'll have engineers, you'll have people that are doing the construction and building it, but then you'll need software engineers probably to help maintain that data and secure it. So it's going to create a lot of jobs going into AI, construction, all those things tying together, but more so the focus of AI. Since you can do anything virtually with it, they're going to be looking for people that are going to be able to train the AI agents, talk to it, communicate with it, and work with it.
So, I mean, I know there's a shortage too. By you saying that, it brought the idea to my mind that we're kind of computer illiterate here.
Yeah.
Like a lot of our, even the top professionals don't understand the insides, the intricate pieces as it pertains to softwares and stuff. So, how do you feel like we qualify for those jobs? Like, what's the first step into understanding or trying to get into a role like that?
I would say definitely just educating yourself and using AI as a tool. I think a lot of people go on there and they're like, hey, Siri, find me this, or, but actually using it to get better at whatever you're doing in your day-to-day life, whether it's scheduling your day out, planning your next appointment, but doing it by month, setting up those tasks that normally you would have to either write down or think about doing. Now everything's automated. So it definitely prompting the AI and working with it more as a tool rather than a crutch and leaning on it. Not saying ask it for everything. Hey, tell me how to get here every day, but really looking at it as far as how can this help me? How can I use this to help myself or my family? And really diving into it. So you're going to have to look at Claude. Google's doing a lot of great things. Anthropic's doing some good things. So, and even SpaceX as well. So
yeah. So is it ways to get certified in that so you can be a top competitor for when those jobs come in?
They do have companies that do that work with colleges. Velvet Geaux is doing that as well within the city too. So you can get taught by myself on how to work with that and educating people, on how to use AI into integrating it into the workplace. So not only just prompting it, but building with it and using apps and different technology that you can use to work with it.
Yeah,
so,
that's pretty cool. Another thing, led me to this question was that we're going to have a real issue with water bills. I heard again, it's all stuff that I heard. I'm learning, also educating the audience. But what's up with the water? Like, why are they using so much water to operate these systems and these what is it? Data centers?
The data centers,
Yeah, the data centers.
So they're saying that a lot of water is being used to cool these units down, as before they used water to do that. Now there's other ways where they can contain it and it can cool itself using minimal water. And some systems use it, some systems don't. But just like anything else, that information gets out and everybody thinks the ocean's going to go away. It's not going to go away, but they need to find some way to cool these things down. So water is used in most of it, and they use some other elements to keep the units cool.
Yeah.
So
that's the pretty side of AI.
yeah.
I want to get into like the AI where people are being incriminated wrongly. It's like AI has a lot of mistakes. They make a lot of mistakes.
Oh, yeah.
Even when you use Chat GBT, it tells you, hey,
Oh,
check this because because Chat makes mistakes.
Yes. Yes.
Are we at jeopardy in some type of way? Our image, because AI is controlling so much of the world that we're in. I feel like people are getting real lazy because they're so reliant on AI.
Which is true. I mean, some of that, what you're saying can happen. Definitely misinformation, things like that. Staying connected to how you're using it ethically. Some of these things have fail safe, some of them don't. You build and you can create, and it doesn't matter who you impersonate. But definitely there can be some repercussions if it's used wrong. But other companies are working toward improving so it's not as, like you said, like holding people, like falsely charging them criminally or anything like that. Yeah. So I think as we move forward, it gets better with that.
So give me a reason why we should appreciate AI.
I think of the first time in our history, this has been something to where you can build a business and it works, and you don't have to have a full team to build a business off of it. But then it makes your life a little bit easier. You're not, if you want self-driving cars, it's there. But the software, everybody has a cell phone. The cell phone is built with that. Comes with that. Everybody uses Siri. Everybody uses ChatGPT. You're using maps to get everywhere. So it's making our lives easier, but this is the first time in history where we're going to see a shift change of people building and developing for themselves and their families to help themselves. So I think it's a great time to do that. So if you ever thought about learning about AI or diving into it, you can definitely reach out to our company, but definitely take a look online. They have a lot of great things that you can do and learn out there about it, because AI is not... It's learning from us, and it's also just, again, there as a tool, so.
Yeah. I know the convenience. I look at my sons, like, all the time, and not just them, but kids are straying farther and further away from just books. Everything is social.
Yep.
And internet-driven. It's like it's hard to, for one, just keep an oversight on what they're doing. And depression is on the rise, like literally. I think because there's so much accessibility, like you could literally be here in Louisiana, in New Orleans, but you can mentally travel all the way to China, and you see people doing stuff. It's like that's also a component that worries me. So how do we educate young people on how to properly use this stuff, and also educate them on that this is, it's software, it's AI.
And I would say, it's everything starts at home. So for me, even with my boys, it's everything starts at home. So if you're educating them on how to use it, they're going to have their phones and use it as well. But if you're showing them what to do, walking them through different programs and steps on how to build and appreciate it and use it as a tool, not as a crutch, I definitely think that they'll have a different outlook. Can you get lonely, or does it affect that side psychologically of people? Become dependent on it? Yeah, I agree. I've seen that happen as well. But the other side of it is now they can actually help themselves through building something to make them either cheer up or feel better, or, have pride in what they're doing, or anything. It's just the AI has that ability where you can make it work for you and be there for you. So.
Yeah. We're going to take a quick break and we'll be right back.
Everybody, a space for everybody, make a way for everybody. Tell everybody, listen up.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back. I hope y'all learning something because I definitely am. Thank you, Lance, for sharing your insights about
Yeah.
AI and technology.
Yeah.
But now let's talk about Velvet Geaux.
Okay.
What is Velvet Geaux, man? What's the benefits of getting with your company to get right?
So Velvet Go, was designed to help other businesses grow as making things affordable, a landing page, using AI, having a menu. We use it for the Velvet Blender and Velvet Go. So we're using our own product, and we're the product of this, but it works because we were saving money on third-party apps, up to 30% on third-party apps that we were paying, and then they would pay us our dues, and we're like, how are we getting paid so little?
Yeah.
Well, because they're advertising, they're marketing, they're doing all of that. So when I decided to let me learn this, let me see how I can figure this out, that's when I came across, and the company I use is Replit. And they really help, and they make it easy. After you learn a little bit and read about how to code and the basic stuff, their company really does it right as far as handling everything else with it. Now, I'll go back to AI. Training it, talking to it, prompting it helps.
Yeah.
Do you want to learn code and do all that? Yes. But you don't necessarily have to. I don't have a coding background. I'm not an engineer. I don't do any of that, but I learned everything self-taught.
Yeah.
So Velvet Go can design a site, have it ready in 72 hours.
Yeah.
And a site that competes with any site nationally as far as the tools and the equipment that they'll have to grow their business. So the clients that I do have that I'm thankful for giving us a try are attest to that. As their business grows, the site grows with them. There's no here you have to spend 20 hours doing Wix or Shopify or anything. No, quick phone call, we handle it, we help you out, and it grows with you.
Yeah.
So it definitely makes it easier for them. So we build platforms, a website, super basic, landing page, tells them about who you are. Maybe there's a store. A platform is where you grow. So I can find it about you.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a foundation. Oh, guess what? I want to donate to the foundation. What if you have a newsletter? Oh, great. Let me subscribe to that. What if you have payment plans on different stuff that you're offering? Great. Let's set that up. So it allows anybody who wants to build a business. We help them, and we help them with that. And it's at a fraction of the cost that an agency would charge, and again, the first time in history where someone is able to do that solo is great. And, I'm fortunate enough to catch on early and dive in. I've been doing it for almost a year now, but diving in and learning, with Replit, and, I'm in the top 6% of builders, and then building, I'm like, they have levels 1 through 5. I'm like a level 5. So meaning that I have about 5,000 prompts that I've already put into the system.
Yeah.
So that's what I teach. I teach people how to prompt. I teach kids.
That's
so.
huge.
Yeah.
That is huge. I could vouch for that too, y'all. He did some work behind the scenes for my nonprofit organization and another company that I founded, and we're going to talk more about that later on.
Yeah.
But since we're here,
Yes.
we're talking about Velvet Geaux.
Yeah.
We know that in New Orleans,
Yeah.
they have so many creators here.
Yep.
One thing that I experience using social sites
Mm-hmm.
is that you have limited control. If you go against the guidelines or you break the rules,
Yeah.
you get terminated.
Yep.
I got terminated for something that I did not do. They told me that my first page, I had nearly 4,000 followers on there and some prominent people. And it hurted me so bad to wake up one day for them saying that I had something as it pertains to child abuse or something like that. They snatched it instantly.
Yeah.
I lost all my contacts.
Yep.
And I was just like, man, where do I go from here?
Yep.
What's the importance of literally owning your own?
Yeah.
Because again, with these social sites,
Yep.
the minute they see or somebody flag you in the wrong way, it's
gone.
out of here.
Yeah. So definitely they control everything. They control everything that's posted, Instagram, Facebook. They can take your page out of there whenever they want. You could have 20,000 follow. I think we've seen somebody like that. It's 20,000, 30,000, doesn't matter to them. Having your own site, you're in control. You're in control of all of that. When we started the Velvet Blender, we had over 150 5-star Google reviews, and my wife Jasmine really worked hard to get those reviews, and they were gone. They said we didn't verify something. It was weird. It was gone. I reached out to Google and they were like, no, we can't bring those back. And luckily we take screenshots of milestones, but it was really hard to even get an email from them. So now, we're up to 50 or so now back up, but it's really it hurts you when you work so hard for something and then it just goes away. Social media, Google, all those things. When you have a platform that grows with you and it doesn't go away. You can promote on there, you can have a show on there, you can do everything on that site, and you can send people to your site so they can book you, or they can have a conversation with you, they can email, they can have a way to find you, and that doesn't go away. And that's the great thing of having someone that can build a platform, because it gives you all these different avenues to grow.
Yeah.
So if you're like, hey, Lance, I have an idea of this. Oh, great. Let's do it. Let's build it out.
Yeah.
We can talk through that. And all of a sudden they have a new business. They're serving a new crowd or a new topic they want to bring up on what they do. So it's definitely a plus to have that. You definitely don't want to just rely on the social media of someone controlling it, where you want the full ownership and owning everything that you're doing on your site and promoting how you want to promote, what you promote, and it's all yours.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I think that's big.
Yeah,
like
it's really big.
That's really big. And I think once my page got snatched, I felt like, man, I got to start all over.
Yeah.
But then I ran into you, and some things, just kind of light bulb moment. Like, all right, cool. You've been like a consultant behind the scene, man.
Yeah.
You also been a big brother to me,
No,
and
thank you.
I feel that it's very beneficial. Especially to all the content creators out, all the business owners, because we have we utilize social media as our primary source to communicate and to take payments. And I feel like that's leading you down the wrong avenue.
Yeah.
But also our young people are pretty creative as it pertains to utilizing social media, but they don't have the education behind them to support their ideas or to support their careers.
Correct.
So they go with all their ideas to social media, and someone in the cloud is watching what they're doing, because the future relies on them.
Correct.
They do stuff in their own way.
Correct.
So Velvet Geaux, you mentioned something earlier that you also deal with young people.
Yes.
In education.
Yep.
Give us a little bit of insight about what does that entail.
So what Velvet Geaux is putting together is a program to teach the young crowd, our younger generation, to prompt and build with AI. Using Replit. It's what I build on. I'm quite efficient on it, and so what I'm doing is I'm allowing them to build from their idea or whatever they're passionate about, or maybe they want to help their aunt or uncle build something for their business, or just help their family. Right? They have that idea. We prompt. I show them how to build, take them through the stages. And at the end of the program, it's about 6 weeks, they walk away with the app. They walk away with the website or platform.
Yeah.
They walk away with that, and that's theirs. So they're invested in it. They want to see it grow. You can create games, calendars, a photo album,
Did you
whatever.
say games?
You can
Not
create games.
Games?
You can create games.
Y'all heard
on
that,
there.
huh,
Yes.
kids? That's all y'all want to do is games.
You can is from Roblox to Minecraft to anything that you want to imagine and put on there and build. It can help you build that. And the great thing about it is they're learning. And that's the new form of what's happening with AI, is that it's going to be easier to work with the more you understand and how to shape it and how to speak with it. Because we were talking about this earlier, kind of offline, but 80% of students use it in school.
Right.
So if you're a teacher, you're listening to this, 80% of your students are using this, 20% of the teachers know how to use it. And that's just AI. And that was just a statistic that was out. So if that's out there, of course you're going to read a paper and say, hey, fifth grader, why are you using these college terms? But for a majority of that, they can just ask it to be written by a fifth grader. And then you're going to get the paper and not know that was written by them, because it's going to look as if they wrote it.
Right.
So if they're not teaching it in school and they don't know, well, kids are going to be kids. They're going to learn it. They're going to use it. But if they learn how to work with it as a tool, this can really help them. And I think that's where AI is going for the future.
Do you feel like there's barriers to teachers getting the education behind AI and then delivering it?
I do. In my opinion, yes, because the barriers are who knows who's the master teacher of this. There isn't any master teacher. You just learn by what you're going to do. You prompt it on what you're building. So it's how you're thinking about a project, you're planning it out, you're asking the questions, you're creating that task for it, and then it's going to start building and developing. You can stop at any time and go a different direction, but you have to have a good base to build on it, and that's what I teach. They would have to go back and teach everybody how to build a good base to build on, just like you would a house.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of concept.
Yeah, and it's funny you said that,
Yeah.
because I know now, I read in the papers that legislation has been passed that students who are in, I think it's grade school, if I'm not mistaken, you have to take the course, some type of computer course, to be ready to excel or graduate. But the teachers aren't educated enough to have a curriculum like that. So it's mandated that these classrooms have computer classes or AI classes, but the educators behind it aren't equipped to deliver that. We kind of mentioned that a little bit,
Right.
but let them know where Velvet Geaux stands and how you can complement the infrastructure that they're building around that.
Yeah, so Velvet Geaux teaches exactly what you're saying. We teach it to professionals, we teach it to teachers. Anybody in that professional realm can learn exactly how we have it set up. 6 to 8 weeks for professionals, depending on what they're building, but 6 weeks for the children. So we stand to help build on what they know and get the education level of using AI and building with AI on top of what they know. So they have the background to walk in to create something to even help themselves, to even help the faculty that's in there to build it. So maybe you want to build a tutor, but you want it to be Socrates. However you want to build that, they can. But right now, no one knows how to do anything in terms of that unless you're already in it now. Mm-hmm. And if you're not in it now, then you're going to go to ChatGPT or Google, you're going to ask it a couple questions and it's going to stop there instead of asking it the right questions to get the results that you want. And then long term, you can also have it learning as you go, so that AI is always learning with you. So
Yeah. Well, that's another
Yeah.
big thing. Like New Orleans, man, we are at the bottom of the totem pole as it pertains to anything great.
Yeah.
But we have great ideas. We have great
Yeah.
concepts. It's
Yes.
just bringing those things to life.
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult when you don't have professionals like yourself to step in
Yeah.
and jump in front of the problem and create the solution. Because I've known too from being a nonprofit that government only funds problems. They don't fund solutions.
Right.
Once the solution is proven, the funding gets cut. And let's talk about funding a little bit. You earlier you mentioned too about like financial resources making its way down.
Mm-hmm.
How could that impact the city of New Orleans?
I think it could impact it heavily because with them learning or different grants for technology, things like that for nonprofits, but for schools even, it can really build that bridge of building the next set of AI engineers, AI developers, people that want to get into computers they didn't know how to before. Everything is moving toward that. So as these big companies come in, we're teaching the kids how to get ready for jobs they're looking for now, and people aren't prepared to take interviews. That they want people to know, do they even know how to speak to AI in terms, or in what do some of these terms mean, like LLM, and having the chance to be able to be taught to break that down in an interview and be confident enough to get a job like that. This is the first time ever that's happened. And now with bills being passed where the infrastructures are getting more money for this, or people are spending more money to get ready for AI, I think that it's going to help. It's going to help the city if we're prepared.
So in a culturally rich city where food, entertainment, and hospitality is like the headliner,
Right.
how does AI and technology fit in?
I think it fits in very well. For the first time, business owners are actually using AI or have that ability to. And now going from the business owners to small business owners, not your normal corporations, they can use it and gain some of that business from different tourists or different things because, again, they have a platform to have a bigger range where they can serve different needs of the public. For the families, the city, we don't need a Silicon Valley here in New Orleans. New Orleans needs its own tech bubble. And that, I think, in teaching the youth, now the youth's going to have a chance to teach the adults into showing them how to use it and really be successful at it. And having these courses and these classes and teaching it all come into play because now you'll have the tools to really have that same advantage as they do in other cities. So even there, we're known for the gumbo and the party, and that's great. That's all still part of the culture.
Right.
But at the same time, now we have a chance to teach our youth these new tools and this new shift in economics.
That's pretty dope
yeah.
too.
Yeah.
You would thank the kids now or the teachers. A lot of roles reversed. That's amazing.
Yeah.
I learned so much today, in this little bit amount of time. However, I'm still trying to wrap my mind around how I'm going to incorporate that into my life. And I think a lot of people have that same idea. So if you had one message to leave out there about your services to our audience, what would that be?
I would say don't stop learning about AI. Don't stop learning about AI. What we do at Velvet Geaux, we definitely help the community. We definitely deliver cutting edge tools. But then I'll get off my soapbox and really give praise to Replit. Replit has been there since day one to give me a chance to help build these things that I've built and industry first stuff for different companies, helping nonprofits, helping different restaurants, helping different business owners, giving them a bigger, audience and reach with tools that weren't available to them ever because they would have to pay thousands and thousands of dollars to have the ability to create something. So instead of having 6 different programs running and you're paying for all these different subscriptions and everything else is happening, now it's just on one page, one platform. And Replit gives you the ability to create. I'm able to now at the level that I'm at is teach it to the kids and the youth and parents and whoever else wants to learn, professionals. But we'll be using that base. They're really good at building what they do, and for the first time we can deliver. We call it front end and back end, and everything in it for a whole site for somebody. And that's never happened. So,
okay,
yeah.
So let's jump into one of the bigger projects that you created. ERABody's network. ERABody, man, let me tell you something. ERABody's podcast started as just a podcast.
Yeah.
All we had was hosts. Like, we wasn't thinking big like, what we are now.
Right.
And also the vision wouldn't have came to life if I wouldn't have met you. Like I said, I just came to get a matcha. I came to get a smoothie,
right.
And you instantly, I don't know, what was the aura of the room, but I was actually getting ready to go to work.
Yeah.
I was late for work too. I was
Putting
late
that
for
on
work.
me, yeah.
Yeah, I'm putting that on you. But man, when I saw what you could do,
Yeah.
you asked me, what do I do? I'm like, man, I run a nonprofit organization, and I'm the founder and CEO of ERABody's podcast.
Yeah.
But me and my business partner, Darren, who's not with us today, y'all. Darren is on vacation, so
Shout out, D. Enjoy that vacation.
Yeah, so I'm here taking care of business. But we came up with concepts to create an umbrella for other not nonprofits, but other media and content creators,
right,
and also podcasters.
Yep.
Gave that idea to you, and literally within 72 hours or less, I can't even remember, you had brung that vision to life, utilizing Velvet Geaux.
Yep.
First off, I want to say thank you.
Yeah.
But the network, let's get into how you just formulated this. Like, I didn't even give you words through messaging or email. Like, you literally came up with this whole concept, took what we wanted and brung it to life. What, like, how did you mastermind that? Like, I'm lost for words.
Well, it's definitely, well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's definitely one of the biggest projects, not the biggest project that I've built for that. But I started from how could I help, and going from that frame of mind, what would I want if I'm out there in the streets and I'm doing interviews, and what would I want if I'm running a podcast? What would I want if I want to hire reporters or people that are on the streets, or help teach kids how to do this? And I started from there, from how can I help, and building that as the frame. I started kind of to build everything else around how can this help you guys. But having the framework of helping, also giving you a platform to speak about what's going on. And we talked about ownership early on, but that's the part of having this, is now you can own everything that you're broadcasting, and people want to tune in from anywhere they can, and it gives you another reach of audience that didn't know what was happening in the city, and gets to kind of see it through you guys, which is great. And now you have a platform to talk on, and the kids get to see how easy it is to do that. But I started from there, like, how can I help? And that helped me kind of formulate different ideas, put things together, what's not going to work, what will work. And then again, building with Replit, and that helped, just, I don't know, made that thing go really fast, But
and I love it.
Yeah.
And we will be presenting that real soon to you guys, just to let you know that it's coming real soon. Like, right now, we're working on a few things behind the scene, but we literally 92% done.
No,
92%
it's gonna be amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, what doing large projects like that? Because that, once it's revealed and released to the world,
right,
that's not an easy project to complete. It's not going just, how you're industry driven.
Yes.
This is not just an industry driven project.
Right.
This pretty much can house everything that the industries are doing. Like, it's a really, really big project. What are any complications, I should say?
Yeah.
Outside of just stressing you out.
Late nights.
Yeah, late nights. What are any more complications that kind of cause friction within that process?
Well, during that project, I would say mostly testing the ideas, prompting and testing, and prompting and testing, and then doing separate research on what other agencies do. Because this is my first time building something like that, but what does that look like for them? So just I would say gathering all the data, the stuff that didn't work, fixing the broken things and making it work. Really spent a lot of time developing how I ask questions, and how I formulate ideas when I do have an idea, how to express it to AI, to help with writing the code, to building that. And we're lucky, again, to be at this time where someone can build something like that, and now it's going to help a whole community of people that love podcasting, love reporting, love getting out there and interviewing people, or reporting anything, to a chance to do that, where before you couldn't do that. You couldn't, because it wasn't available. You'd have to pay a lot of money to other companies to be hosted on there, and YouTube is one, but other companies wouldn't allow you to post for free. So if it's not on YouTube, it's not on Facebook Live, you're looking at going to a bigger network to say, hey, here's what I have, can I be a reporter? I'm pretty sure there's other process to that, but here it's easy. Now you have the ability to bring on anyone that you want and showcase them. So
the flexibility of the site. I've been working too behind the scenes just to get familiar with it, but it's so many pieces. But having that flexibility means everything, especially as a CEO or founder. When you go behind the scene, of course you have to transfer and delegate some of those responsibilities to other individuals, but having that support also from the creator, and I'm speaking of you, the back end support. I want you to leave a message about that too, like the back end support that comes with dealing with or going through Velvet Geaux for the services.
So we don't build something and leave you hanging. We want to see you succeed. You have all these great tools. How can you use them? You have all this great stuff. How can you market? I really don't just leave you hanging and okay, well, here it is. Here, where's the bill? And a lot of people are looking at that as like, wow, you're talking me through this, or you have this idea on this, and that's great. And I spent a lot of years in retail and some other things, but for me, it's definitely, I wish someone was there when I was having these ideas or coming up against a crisis, or even building this with my wife. No one was there to do that. For the first time, I'm able to help somebody with that, and like I said, always approaching it from how can I help has really propelled me far. Especially here in AI, in a space where you can ask any question, ask it to do whatever. You still need the human element, though, because our brains are just wired different. But you still need that human element to think of it from that kind of point of view. In the future, will that change? Probably so. But for the most part now, it's definitely one of those things in a city where AI is not that prominent. Dealing with the public and educating them on what they have, and then seeing their eyes light up like, oh, wait, I could do that? Yeah. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. And that human interaction, that excitement is really what kind of just drives me to support and be there.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So I got a funny question to ask you, too. You ever seen the movie Megan?
Yes.
You seen Megan?
Yes.
All right. So Megan started as a cold, right?
Yeah.
Megan started as a little cold. Then Megan got this mind of her own without a human.
Yeah.
Should we be worried?
So there's a lot of different videos. You've probably seen the video of the guys. I think they were in China where the robot kicks them.
Yeah.
As they're developing or putting code in. I haven't got that far with AI yet. No one's gonna kick me yet. Except some of these owners if it doesn't work right. But no, when you build and you're developing, I always say I supervise the AI as I go. But it opens the door for AI to think and breathe and live on its own. But again, there's most people that say that's not going to happen. But it's really at this point with loops and training and building, some of those patterns and some of those things look like living, breathing, and thinking devices. Yeah. If you have a Roomba, it knows where the objects are, it goes around it, it still cleans your floors. So why can't a robot put dishes away after it washes them and then say, oh, you know what, let me go turn off the hallway light? Yeah, I don't know. It definitely opens the door for what's next or what's going to happen. So I wouldn't be too scared of the Megan thing, but at the same time, yeah, it's definitely scary to think about. But yeah, it's a thought. So.
Yeah. So who
it's funny.
Like, you're really educated behind this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I want to know who inspired you to, that one person that inspired you to educate yourself more in the AI and tech arena.
For me, there's a lot of different people. It wouldn't be one person. If you look at, obviously the CEO of Replit, Amjad, him building it for 10 years, and then all of a sudden it's released and we're able to do what we do. There's other people that have done some great things in the industry. So I try to follow just the news as far as what's happening, even with Elon and NVIDIA and all these different companies, Anthropic, all these different companies that are building. I try to just stay, kind of above it and understand what I can with it, obviously. But at the same time, I'm still myself learning about everything. There's a good book, and I hope I don't mess it up, but I think it's a Zen of AI by Rick Rubin, and he talks about talking to AI, prompting AI. And I don't want to mess the book up, but it's a really good book, and it gets you to think outside the box of how you talk and how you prompt. And it's funny, when you start to prompt and you start to develop, you find yourself giving it weird tasks or saying, hey, make this a little softer color.
Yeah.
And that it understands because it's working with you. So
welcome back, everybody. And this segment we'll be doing rapid fire. Well, we'll be taking all of the material and content that we learned during this episode and acting it at a rapid pace. You ready?
Ready.
And I need you to think outside of the box.
Here we go.
All right? So we about to have a little fun real quick, y'all.
Let's do it.
All right. AI. What is AI? Who is AI?
Artificial intelligence.
You sure? You want to re-guess that?
No, I'm pretty sure. I'm good.
Allen Iverson.
Oh, you know what? Outside of the box. I wasn't thinking about number 3. Okay, go ahead. Next question.
Cloud or local storage?
Local storage.
Tabs or spaces?
Spaces.
Dark mode or light mode?
Dark mode.
From scratch or AI generated?
AI generated.
All right. So sci-fi predictions. Do you feel that they are accurate or totally wrong?
Most definitely accurate.
Tech guy. Tech guy. Man, thank you for having this conversation with us, man, and educating us on AI and the way it's shaping the world, especially that we live in and here in New Orleans. Again, man, we're tuned in with Lance. I hope this session was just as informative to you as it was to us. For our audience who don't know you, let them know where to find you at.
You can find me at velvetgeaux.com, also Velvet Geaux on Instagram, or at the Velvet Blender, hanging out here sometimes as well. So definitely velvetgeaux.com is where you should start.
So thank y'all for tuning in. And Lance, you have been exposed, but in a good way. Peace.